Hello everyone. In this example, I'm going to go over a Monte Carlo simulation example. Um, so in this one, we have a company um, that says that in between a certain period of time. So it's kind of like December, January sales. If they say the total snowfall for 3 consecutive days goes beyond 5 inches, then they're gonna refund all that sales for those for that period, for those 3 days. So it's so that amount will be refunded. Um, so when you look at the data set, this is what they have starting from 16 December and goes all the way down. This is the historical data. So as you see, they just give the snowfall for consecutive days, like a 0.106.2 inches and a 0.620. It's kind of like with the starting day, they just put the scenario numbers here. It goes up to, I think, 578. So 578 total data values that we have in here, 3 consecutive days. So the sum, if the sum is like 5 or more, then they're going to refund the total sales at that time. So as you can see, sometimes it goes to above 5, but it's really rare. So we would like to, in this example, we would like to find what's the average refund that they will give in this case. And for their sales values, they use the uniform distribution. Their minimum is 250,000 and their maximum is 400,000. So, and 5 is our minimum for the inches. So total sales here, I just put it in there. It's just, you just take the minimum lower plus the difference, upper minus lower times the random. So that way, as you see, if you go to formulas and calculate, it's going to give you the total sales, different total sales. It's just kind of randomizing in there. So what we're gonna do is this. We're gonna run this for 1,000 trials. So let me first hide the between values, like inner values. First choose every row in here up to maybe like 995, 996. Let's go all the way down here up to 996. Right click and say hide. So I hide those values to keep it simpler. So now I'm gonna recall like the scenario numbers. This is like random between 1 and 578. So it's kind of like what I ask Excel is to pick one random scenario from this list and then pull up those numbers in here. So I'm gonna try to pull up those three values, whatever the scenario number is, pull up those three values into here for these three values. So what you can do is you can really add that up and then try to look for the sum, which will work because it's given in like three different consecutive values, or you can just pull that up like as the three different values. So January 1, January 2, January 3, those are the dates, 3 consecutive dates. And you expect the snowfall data from those 3 consecutive dates, but those are going to be simply taken from the historical data. So I'm going to pull it up from that list. So I'm going to use the index function here, right? Like um you can use like VLOOKUP, you can use XLOOKUP, but what I'm going to be using is the index function. So I'm going to pull up that row, that column, and then just I'm going to call out that index number that I have at the top, which is the scenario number. So what I'm going to be using is like equal to index, and then I'm going to use this function. For the first one, I need to put the array. So it's going to be from here. It's going to be the first one. So as you see, it's going to be starting from all the way down here to 576. I'm going to be choosing that one for the first time, and the second time I'm going to really make it easier. And then Let me do it this way. No. You can just choose it this way, or you can simply just type it in there what I'm going to do in that time. So it starts at C2, and as you see, it goes up to 579. And then I'm going to put a comma. And then what I'm checking is the index number as the row number that I'm checking Excel to check. So that's going to be like match with that. So in the second part, I'm going to be going to sheet one, and I'm going to be using the scenario number B9 for that. Then I'll close the parentheses and I'm going to say enter. So for example, 489, it's 0. So as you see, this index function goes into that row, that column, and then pulls up the value for that column for which the scenario number matches with 489. So we're going to now do the same thing, but what you can do is you can copy this, and then you can just simply paste it for the next entry. But be careful doing this. It's going to be still B9. For this one, it will start at D. It's the second column, so and it will go to D579. And once you enter, that's going to pull up the second value. So this is C like column D from here. And the last one will be, as you can guess, it's going to be E. So that's the last one. So you can again paste it here. And then I want here this one to be E. And I want that one to be E. So I got this one, for example, I mean, let's make it a smaller number. So in 263, for example, it will be 0, 1.20. You can just check that if you go to like maybe 263, you got 0, 1.20. And you can check it, it will just pull that up. And this is the sum, total sum of those values. What you can do is if you want, you can add those up, and you can simply say, hey, hey, I want it to check only the sum to be larger than 5. That's all. So here we go. The refund part, you just check B13 with B6, which is 5. If it's true, I'm sorry, B4, you check it with B4. If it's true, you're going to bring up B6, which is the sales. So that's your refund. Because you say that if the snowfall is more than 5 inches, then I'm going to give this much back. And otherwise, you're going to put 0. So this is the simple if function. You know, it's already in that template that I provided to you. And let's check it even if this step becomes a positive. So here we go, it's positive. If you add it up for 411, you can just go ahead and check that. If you go to 411, the sum is simply larger than 5. And as you see, that sum is 12.4, which is larger than 5. So the refund will be whatever you have right over here. So it works nice. So now I'm gonna run the simulation. So for the simulation, you did this in the previous module, but let me just do it again. So I choose this table, but first, of course, for the first entry, please put the function, this is cell, the reference cell that you wanted to calculate. So I hit that one, that's my first entry. So it's gonna be simply doing this 4,000 times with this method. It's gonna be computing this. And please, in calculation options, make sure that this is automatic. I'm going to be choosing this table. And then I'm going to go to data. Under data, I'm going to go to what if analysis. And I'm going to see data table. Now, row input cell, there's nothing that I need to put in there. I'm creating a two-way data table. I'm sorry, one-way data table. So I just wanted to compute the column values. But I'm not going to be choosing any values for this because I want it just to compute according to the first one. So I'm just going to be choosing the column input cell, and I'm going to go ahead and choose an empty cell for that. So by that way, it's going to be computing that value according to the first one 1,000 times. So I hope this is clear. So it's kind of like you only ask it to compute this column, the refund column, and that's it. And according to the first value that you put in there, which is your refund value here, which is B15. So if I hit OK, you will see that it's all right now zeros, which is just fine. But you will see you can just compute it like calculate that and you can see. So these are like only the six values, but thousands of them are in there. So let's find the average refund from here. How can we find it? It's going to be, of course, the average of this column. That way we will see if it's positive or all zeros, but you will see that this is like $20,277. So that's the on average value that you will be giving back according to this model. You can do like more detailed analysis. Um, but that's how you find it. So if you run it, that will change. If you go to formulas and calculate it again, those values will change as you see. The next one is the probability of a refund. So what's the probability? Like according to these 1,000 values, oh, sorry for that. Let me do it this way. How many times you really give a refund back? So that's what we try to compute over here. Let me make this a little bit bigger. Can we compute that? What's the probability that we will give a refund? So the probability is kind of like this. You have 1,000 values. So you really need to compute when this is positive. So I'm going to be using the function countif. So I'm going to be saying, hey, my range is this 1,000 values, comma, my criteria is I want it to be positive, greater than 0. And I close the parentheses. So that way, it computes the number of values when it's positive and excludes the ones that are 0. So if I hit enter, you see it's 70 times. So out of 1,000, 70 of them will be a refund. So to find the probability, you can divide it by the sample size, which is 1,000. So it's for this one is 7.5% chance that you will be giving a refund. Then according to this one, as you can see, it's beautiful. You can just simply make your conclusion. You can run it like multiple times and simply make like a distribution for the probability function, and then you can just get like confidence interval. But this is pretty much what we have in this problem. So it's just changing 6.2%, 7.9, 6%, 7.3%, and so on. So I hope this example is clear. Thanks for watching. Bye.